Hello everyone and welcome to this live stream. It's been a while, and in today's live stream we're going to be designing a few hero sections, and we're just going to see several designs that we can come up with, and then we're going to just try to bring up something. So first of all, let's log in into our website. Okay, I'm already logged in into my WordPress website, so let me just visit the dashboard. So okay, so here I am now inside my WordPress admin area. So the first thing we need to do for this tutorial, for this live stream, is to come to plugins. And if you don't have Elementor installed, this is for you. So you just need to click on add new, and then in the search bar here you're going to search for Elementor. But for my own case, I have Elementor installed and activated already. So if you search for Elementor, you're going to see that it is active, but I actually need to update it. So let's do that right now. All right, so the plugin has been updated, and this is the only thing we need. We might need a few add-ons too. I have several add-ons installed because this website is just the website I use to test general designs. So if I'm going to be using some add-ons, I'm going to let you know in the comment section down below. So first thing we need to do now is to come to pages and select add new. All right, so here we're going to give our title a page. So for this case, we're just going to give it probably YouTube hero section, and let's give it something like maybe 1 to just for easy identification. So what we need to do now also is to come to templates here at this side here. So we're going to come to template and we're going to select Elementor full width. So we're going to select Elementor full width, and we're going to publish this page. So we're going to click on publish. All right, so the page has been published. Now let's view the page in a new tab. So we're just going to check the page in a new tab. We're going to see we have absolutely nothing on the page, and towards the end of this tutorial we're going to be able to create something that looks exactly like what is being shown to you on the screen. We're going to have a little bit of hero section that has a text at the left side and then image at the right hand side. The one that has a text and then subheading, button, and also an image. So we're just going to try out several options, and we're going to see the one that works best for us. So let's just move on with the tutorial. So we have a blank page here. First we need to do is to edit the page in Elementor. So we're going to come back to this tab and select edit with Elementor, and here we can just close this one. So we're going to wait for Elementor editor to load up now, and we're going to start designing right away. All right, so we have it here. We have the Elementor dashboard here, and we're just going to wait for the panel to load up completely. Okay, there we have it. I'm going to close this navigator, and we're about to start designing now. So the first type of hero section we're going to design is the common ones you do see on almost every website, that has text at the right hand side and image at the left hand side. So first thing we need to do actually is to add a container. So we're going to click the plus icon, and then I'm going to select this structure. So I'm going to select the third structure. All right, so what we need to do now is to drag in our text elements, text widgets, and every other thing that we need. So first thing we need to do is to drag in the heading, obviously, and we're going to drag in subheading too. I'm going to drag in subheading, and we also need button. So we're going to put the button here, and for the right hand side we only need image. So we're going to just look for the image widget. Okay, here it is, and then we're going to put it here. So remember, this is the type of design we're looking for us to get now. This one that is being displayed on the screen for you right now. So let's continue. So we're just going to come to this heading text here, and we're going to start editing our text. So for this one, we're going to just use hire top talent for your startup. This was the demo that I actually used for the hero section I was working on as a practice before this live stream. So hire top talent for your next startup, and we're going to edit the subheading too, and we're going to use something like something realistic. So let me just copy the text from my text box here. I'm just going to copy, and then I'm going to come back here to paste. All right, just to make things faster. And for this button, we're going to use this one as start hiring. And actually, we're going to have dual button here. So let me just duplicate it. And for this one, for the first one, we're going to come to advanced, if I'm not mistaken. And under width, we're going to select inline auto. And for the second one also, we're going to select inline auto. And it should be side by side. Let's see, is it full width? I doubt whether it is full width. All right, I think something is going on here. Okay, let's use another option then, since this is not working. Let's drag in another container, and then we're going to put the buttons inside this container. So let's return it back to default, and then we're going to drag it into the container. And also for the second button, we're going to put it back to default and also drag it into the container. Now we're going to select the container itself, come to advanced, come to layout, and we're going to change the direction to horizontal. So this is another way which we can use to have the buttons side by side, but I would have preferred the first option. I don't really know what's wrong. Maybe I'm mistaking some of my some of the things I need to change, but that's fine. Let's move on. Now we're going to change the second button here to how it works. So I'm just going to change the text here to how it works. All right, so moving on, we're going to change the styles. We're going to change the styles, and we're going to change the colors and everything. But before that, let's just put an image. So I'm going to choose image, and we're going to select one image from our library here. And let's select this one, and let's select this image. So we have the image right there. All right, so we have the image right there, and let's start designing. So what we need to do, first of all, starting from desire top talents for your startup, we're going to change the text color to white. Actually, we're going to use a dark background for this. So the color code for this background is going to be I think 121212. So let's change the color code to 121212. Now we can change this heading to white. So we're going to change this one to white, and we're going to change the font family. We're going to use Sora. So let's just search for Sora. All right, there we have it, Sora to the rescue. So we're going to use Sora, and let's just work on the font size and every other thing. So we should be using around 60 for this, if I'm not mistaken. Let's actually see. Yeah, 60 looks good. 60 is good. Let's see how it looks like. All right, 60 actually looks good. And for the subheading too, we're going to be using Sora for that also. So let's change that. Subheading, come to style, and under typography, we're going to change it to Sora. All right, and also we're going to change the color. But before then, let's just change the font size to 15. And the color should be, let's say, white or slightly darker than white. All right, so as to distinguish it from the heading. Now for the whole section itself, we need to add a little bit of padding. So we're going to come to advanced, and we're going to unlink these figures. So I'm going to add 90 to the top, and also 90 to the bottom. So let's see how that looks like. Okay, it's looking good. And also for this image, we're going to make it a little bit rounded. We're going to give it a rounded corner, and it's going to be maybe 5 border radius. So we're going to come to style, another border radius, we're going to give it about 5. All right, now let's work on these buttons. Under the button, we're going to change the text. Come to styles, come to style, we're going to change the text to text and the font family to Sora. And the font size should be around 15 or so. So let's see the one that works best. Let's use 15. Let's leave it as it is. If we need to adjust it, we'll do that along the way. So the color also, let me just get the color code from here, and I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, remove the first sign, and there we go. All right, this is looking good. Now open up this. Okay, and we're going to add padding. So we're going to add 20 to the top, 50 to the right, 20 to the bottom, 50 to the left. That looks good. And yeah, so for the border radius, we're going to make sure it is 0. And let's just work on the second one too. For this second button is a little bit different. The text color is going to be white, but the background type, we're going to remove the background color. So we're going to slide this down. We're going to slide it down, and we're going to give 0 for this, while we give 20 to the top, 50 to the right, 20 to the bottom, 50 to the left. All right. So another thing we need to do for this container right here, we need to give the container a little bit of padding. So let's give it, let's come to advanced. While selecting this first container, let's unlink these values. I'm going to give this 90. We're going to give this 90, 90, and the left is going to be around 60. All right, so I think it's looking good now. I think it's looking good. So we need, I don't think we use the first option to make a dual button. It will have worked fine. It will have worked fine, but as you can see, this button is not aligning with this text. If we should see this text is not in straight line with this button. So let's fix that real quick by using margin. So we're going to select this container, come to advanced, and we're going to unlink it and margin here. Let's just no, we're not going to be using top actually, and we might also use top so as to move this button closer to the text. So let's add like probably 20. Let's see how 20 looks like. Okay, looks good. And for the left hand side, we're going to add probably minus 10. Let's see. All right, that looks perfect. That looks perfect. And for this subheading text, I feel maybe it could be a little bit bigger. Let's see. And come to typography. Maybe 16. All right, so we're having a good looking hero section there. Actually, I forgot, for this second button, I don't think we've changed the font family to Sora. All right, so let's leave it as it is. How it works, start hiring, and let's just make sure the text are on the same line. Let me tell you, the text are on the same line. That should be with the padding, and let's see, 60. Is it going to be with the padding or with the I think it's actually this. So let's reduce for the left. Let's make it about 50 or so, or even if it is possible 30. All right, let's see, maybe 40. I'm trying to make everything look more compact into, I don't know how to put it, but I'm trying to just make everything look good. Okay, so we have this here, and this is a perfect hero section. This is what most people opt for whenever they want to create an hero section for their websites. And one thing we need to do, we need to check the responsiveness across all devices, and then we're going to come down here to select this responsive mode. And while selected, we're going to come up here to select this tablet icon. All right, so we need to make this responsive, and first thing we need to do is to edit the container. So let's unlink the values for this container, and first thing we need to do is to start with the text. So starting with the text, I think we're going to make it smaller on responsive mode, on the tablet mode rather. So the text on the tablet is going to be around probably 50. So let's come to typography and let's change the font to 50. And for this one, for this subheading, that could still maintain it 15. So let's see 15. Now we need to add a bit of padding. So we're going to add 90 to the top, 90 to the bottom, 10 to the right, 10 to the left. I think that looks good. Or probably, let's see, maybe yeah, I think it looks good. Or let's use the padding. Maybe we should use the padding in, let's link this back. All right, maybe we should add a padding into this container. So while selecting the container, we're just going to add probably 20 all through. All right, I think it looks good this way. Yeah, let's move on. So this is it for the tablet version, and it's a little bit responsive. Actually, it's responsive. And let's move on to the mobile version. Now, while on the mobile version, everything looks good on mobile. Everything looks perfect. So what we can do now, since we're done with this design, is to update it. So by the time you click update and then you visit your page, everything is going to be live on your website. And what we can also do is for these buttons, edit this button, and when we come to contents, we can put the link here. So for this case, I can just put my YouTube link here. So when someone clicks this link, they're going to be redirected to my YouTube channel. And you can also click this to decide whether it should open in a new window, or maybe you should add a no follow, attributes to the link. So we're not going to use that for this tutorial. So let me just update, and let's view this page in a new tab. All right, so here we have it. By the time we over on this button, we're going to see that it's going to redirect to my YouTube channel. Actually, I think there's a little bit of problem with my display here. So let me just try and find something better, and let's transition. So yeah, so if you should look at this, we're going to see that it's going to redirect to my YouTube channel. So that is how we can design this default hero section here. Now let's move on to another aspect. Let's see the hero section that has the text, subheading, something like this, a text, subheading, and then a button, and we're going to have a an image. It might be an image of your products or image of your team members or anything. So let's get started with that right now. So what we can do now is to go back to our dashboard. Since we are done with this one, let's exit this page. All right, so what we need to do is to just click on this WordPress icon here. Actually, it's not loading up, but we can see an icon here. It could be your favicon or something like this. So we're going to visit our dashboard, and we're going to create another page. So click on add new. And we're going to call this YouTube Hero Section 2. Hero Section 2. And we're just going to change this to Elementor full width, and we're going to publish. All right, so the page has been published and we're going to edit it with Elementor. Now let's close this tab and let's edit our new page. Oh, actually, I didn't transition this thing. My bad. My bad. I'm very sorry about that because I think everything is okay now. All right, so let's start designing these this type of hero section. So what we need for this one is to click this plus icon and we're going to select this first one. We're going to select this first option. Now what we need to do is to drag in heading, and then we're also going to drag in text editor, and we're going to drag in a button and also an image. So button, and lastly we're going to drag in image. All right, so this is what we're going to edit in order to give us the type of hero section where we have the text, the heading, and every other thing. It's very common. You should have seen something like that, and also showed it in the preview earlier. So first thing we need to do is to change this text. So we're just going to use something different. Let's try this right with AI, even though it's in a beta mode. Oh, I need to connect my account and that's not connected. So let's just do something else. Write, nope. Now let's do write better articles with our smart AI, something that you can relate with. And under style, first thing we need to do is to change the color. So let's use something like blue and 0055 DE. I think this is okay. And typography, let's use Sora for this tutorial. So Sora, and the size is going to be about 60. Isn't this too big? First of all, let's change the alignment to center, and probably we can work on the size, maybe 50. All right, let's move on. We're going to make it better as we move on with the tutorial. So first of all, come to style, center it, and for this one we can just leave it as it is, or we can say with smart AI you can with smart AI you can stop writing. Let's say stop writing boring articles, and let our AI writes a very interesting and engaging article for you. All right, so we're just going to come to style. Okay, we've centered it already, and color code, let's 12112. All right, typography, we're going to change that also to Sora size 15 or thereabouts. Okay, now for the button, we're going to click here and start writing. Should we start writing or get started? You could use any call to action you want. It depends on your personal preference. We're going to center this button, come to style. We're going to change the color. Let's use same 121212. Mm, let's change the color, this text color also to black. I think black will make it look a little bit premium. And also the font should be about extra bold. Yes. Now go back to buttons and let's edit the button. So for the button, padding is going to be our normal 20, 50, 20, 50. And we want the edge to be sharp. And also typography, we're going to change the typography to Sora, the font family rather, to Sora. All right. And about 15 or maybe 14. Now, what we need to do is to add padding and everything is going to look good. So we're going to edit the whole container, come to advanced, and let's add about 60 all through. Okay. And one thing we need to do is that we need to break this heading. We need to break it. So let's come to content and write better articles. And let's use HTML tag BR, and let's end the tag there. Let's end the tag here, and I think it's better this way. It's much better this way. Write better articles with our smart AI. We can also do the same for these. We can do the same for this subheading too. So let's just come to content, and under text, we're going to, and let's break it here. Okay. All right. Okay, I think it looks better this way. It looks better this way. So let's add the image. Let's add the image. We're going to click on this image icon here, and then we're going to add our image. So let's choose an image that is going to work well. And all right, let's use one of these images here. Actually, okay, let's use this. Let's increase the padding we added. Edit the whole section, and let's add a little bit of padding to the top and to the bottom. So let's unlink these values. So the top can have like 100, and also the bottom should have about 100. And for this button, let's add padding. We can either add it to the button or add it to the image, but let's just go for the button in this case. Come to advanced, and we're going to add a little bit of padding to the bottom. All right, so let's unlink this value, and at the bottom we're going to add let's say 70. 70. It's not too much. Okay, I think it's better. We can also spice things up by using gradients at the background, but I didn't even think about using gradients, so we're just going to leave that. Let's make it 50. I feel it's too far, so I didn't think about using gradients in this tutorial, so we're just going to leave it as it is. One thing we can just do is to edit the whole section and come to style and select something different from white, maybe something that has a little bit of faded blue. And let's just see, or let's see F4, F4, F4. I have some color palettes in my head that I just run to as my go-to color palette. Or let's say 0055DE, and let's try to select something closer to white. And then you can mix this with a little bit of gradients, maybe white gradients, in order to just make the background look different from the shining bright the bright color white that is there. So we've designed for the desktop version. Now let's see how it looks like on tablets. We're going to click on responsive mode, and we're going to click on tablets. All right, it actually looks dope on tablets. We don't need to fix anything. And on mobile, I think we're going to have an issue. Actually, we don't have much issues. We're just going to edit this section, and we're going to remove a little bit from the 60 padding that we added to the whole section. So let's go to advanced. Let's go to advanced, my PC is slowing down a little bit right now, and we are going to unlink these values. We're going to still add the 100 to the top, but to the right maybe 10, to the left maybe 10, and to the bottom here same 100. All right, and maybe the text can be a little bit smaller, even though we might have an issue with this tag that I used. But let's see how we can do that. Let's see 40. Okay, 35 looks good, and definitely the subheading also have to reduce in size, and that should go to around 12. Let's see, maybe 12 pixels. Should we really reduce this, or we should leave it as it is? Okay. I feel this is going to be very small on mobile, so let's just leave it as it is. All right. So this is the second hero section we're going to be designing, and we're going to update our page in order to save it. So the page has been updated. We're going to just view our page in a new tab. All right, so here we have it. This is our page here. This is our hero section here, and it's looking good. So there are several styles of hero section you can also, come up with. Some people have a minimalistic type of hero section that they just have maybe a text here, and then they have an arrow that serves as a button. And let's just say one of them. Let's see whether we can work on something similar. And that is mostly common with, let's say, freelancers. Freelancers and any other person in the design industry. So let me just show you what I'm trying to talk about. And also I have some hero section templates here, and let's just see one of them. And we might not be able to design everything, but let me just show you what I'm trying to talk about. So we're going to wait for that page to load up, but here we're going to actually create a new page. So let's go back to our dashboard, and if you have any suggestions for me, if you feel there are better ways which I should use in order to get some results, you'll be sure to let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to take note of them. So what we need to do now is to add a new page. And we're going to call this YouTube hero section 3. So we're going to call this YouTube hero section 3, and also changing the templates to full width, and we're going to publish our page as usual. Now what's going on? Wow, Elementor is at it again. Oh, I think there's a conflict with Cloudflare. So this is my CSS has actually disappeared, most of my CSS, but I'm going to fix that after this live stream. But this is what I actually want to show you. Okay, we have some templates like this too. Let me open this up. Hero section rather, like this. Let me open it. And we have, in this one, I have the text at the left hand side with two buttons that says get started and view demo. In the middle, I have this picture here, and I have a background. I have something like a box shadow, but it's actually like a background overlay. And here I have a text, I have another text here, and then I have a testimonial, just one testimonial. Actually, let's see whether the demo is live. Let's view demo, whether we can see the live version. And actually for this, we're going to fix it after this live stream. All right, so this is demo. We can see I have this text here, and this subheading, this first button, and also the second button. I have this image at the middle, and then I have this quotes here. I have these statistics here, and we have this testimonial. So this is another hero section that you can do, and it is pretty much easy. You just have to select 3 columns, and in that column you're going to put the first text here, you're going to put the image and this, and just make sure it is responsive on desktop, tablet, and also mobile. So let's go back to our page. Let's delete these pages, and let's close them rather, and let's edit this in Elementor. All right, so here we have it, and I was talking about some type of minimalistic hero section. So let me show you one of them. So we're going to click on this plus icon. We're going to click on this down, this first one, and then in such cases you're going to have an heading, and then the heading can be eBay. So it could be like this, and then we're going to have a style. For this is going to be black. Most of this type of design is always white and black, and then we're going to have some sort of tiny fonts that we're going to use. But for this one, it's so rare that keeps coming to my head. It's so rare that keeps coming to my head. I didn't mean I have plans to showcase this type of design. I would have found something more similar that I can use. But for this tutorial, I don't think I can actually find any fonts, and I can't basically use your Vertica, and we're just going to go with Sora for this tutorial. We're going to use Sora, and we're going to change the size. It's going to be really big, something like 65, or in most cases, let's say 70. Hi, I'm Ben. And then there's going to be something like a subheading, right here, and it's probably going to say, or let's do it this way. Let me remove this, and let me use a container. So I'm going to put a container here, and I'm going to okay, let me first see. Actually, I'm just trying container. I've not really been using it ever since they talked about container coming into play. So let's just see how container works together. And also I'm going to drag in maybe an icon. So let me first see, before I move on, whether what I'm going to do is going to work out well. So the direction, I'm going to change it to horizontal, and for this I'm going to come to advanced, and the padding at the right, we're going to add something really much, maybe like 100. No, I think maybe it's probably going to be minus in this case. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I'm actually trying to arrive at something. Oh, maybe it is margin. Let's see. Actually, it's not margin. All right, let's just move on with what we have. Maybe after the tutorial, I'll have to just try to see how that is going to work out. But for this case, okay, let's do something. Let me just delete this, and let me put a new container, and then duplicate this container. But actually, it's going to face this side, and also like this. One thing I can also do is put a container into a container, and by the time I duplicate this container, okay, we should have something like this. So let's see whether this is going to work. This might not be the perfect way, but I'm just trying to show you something. All right, so we're going to have a text like this, and since we've been adding so many containers into each other, let me just add margin minus 10 or so, or probably in this case 20. This might not be the best practices to get these results. I'm just trying to show you something real quick. And to the top also, it might probably be 30. All right, same thing with this second container too. Come to advanced, and also 30. So for this case, we're going to just put an icon, and we can just search for something like name, or no, let's just say arrow. We can find a thin arrow. Okay, something like this. Let's insert, and let's change the arrow color also to black. All right. Okay, so for this, we're just going to say a WordPress web designer. Okay, so I think this is going to do. and we're going to change the fonts. Definitely we're going to change the fonts. Let's use Sora for this one too. So change from Robo to, and we're going to use Sora, but it's going to be something a little bit smaller. And we're going to change the line height. We're going to change the line height to let's say 1.6 em, and also the font color too, and also the font color. So we have something like this. And yeah, we're just going to now drag in an image. You can put an image here, and this image is going to be a portrait, something like a very clear and crisp image of me. But actually I don't have any here. I don't have any. But let's see what we can use to fill in the gap. Let's use this cinema picture. And all right, so we're getting close to that type of design. We're going to select this container, and then we're going to unlink these values. We're going to add about 100 to the top and 100 to the bottom. And for this image, we're actually going to put it as full. All right, so we're going to put it at full. And for this icon, we might even have to increase the icon a little bit. Let's put -70. Let's put -70. Let's even increase this a little bit. Like I said, this might not be the best practice. I'm just trying to show you a quick design idea that I'm trying to talk about. And let's spice up this thing. Let's see whether we can work on this icon. Probably it has. Okay, this icon doesn't have. Okay, we have stacked. All right, let's choose stacked. Let's choose stacked. Framed. Stacked will be okay in this case. Let's go back to the container and let's add the last. Let's add 100. And this is going to be a button. That's the catch. This icon is going to be a button. So we're going to come to contents, and we're going to add something like a button to my About Us page on my website, youtube.com. This is my YouTube link, by the way. So we're going to add this type of link here. And one thing about these websites is that they always have a little bit of animation. So let's see what we can do when it comes to animation. For this first column here, for this first one, we can make it sliding right. We can make it sliding left rather. Let's just say sliding left. And this one could sliding up. Let's come to motion effects and sliding up. All right. And also, this type of designs are best designs in Depictor, something like a slider plugin. But we are trying to see how we can come up with this using Elementor. I've actually made a tutorial on Depictor, and we've also worked. Let me show you real quick. And we also worked on a design right on my live stream like this one. So let me just load up this in the background while we continue working on the hero section. So all right, so for this icon, we're going to come to motion effects, and let's see what we can do. Bouncing left. Nope, that's too sharp. Let's see. I don't really feel this. Rotate. Rotating upright. Why is this slow? Normal. All right, let's see. That should work. And for this image, we're going to have maybe probably sliding up. And let's come to motion effect, and let's have sliding up. Now this has loaded up, and we can come to live. When we come to live, we're going to see one of my tutorials here. Where is it? Okay, this one that says Depictor slider plugin. It was actually a 1 hour long tutorial on how to use Depictor. And also I have a very short video. Is it really short? I think it's about 15 minutes where I talked about Depictor. And what is it? Okay, this is it. It's about 15 minutes. So you can watch these 2 videos to find out how you can easily design something like this without stress. So we're just going to update this page. And actually, we're not going to be checking the responsiveness on tablets, or in fact on tablets it actually looks good out of the box, and mobile should also look good. So yeah, all thing we can now do is to view this tab, to view this page in a new tab. So let me just close this one. All right, so you can see the animation. Let me just reload it again in case you didn't catch that. So you're going to see the cool animation. So it looks like all those minimalistic type of vibes. And the more you design the landing page, the more you can add animation, and you're just going to engross the viewers to stay on your website, to scroll from the beginning to the end. And also this is a link, and when they click on this button, it's going to go to your about us page and other stuff like that. So actually, we've seen how to design, let's say, 3 hero section in this live stream, and then you can use it to spice up the hero section of your website. So I think we're going to be putting the live stream to an end here. If you have any more questions, if you have anything, I don't really think anybody is watching me live now. So if you're watching this replay and you have any questions, kindly drop them down in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you've not subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video, comments, do everything to make the algorithm notice this video and then push it out to more people. And I'll be sure to see you guys in the